Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, if you grow cassava or if you are looking forward to grow cassava, then this video is for you. We are in the cassava farm today and I'll be talking about a sustainable way you can manage or control pests in the cassava farming. So with no overuse of chemical, no soil damage, just smart farming. So we'll be talking about major cassava pests, where we have cassava mealybug, we have cassava green mites, we have the white flies. It is also a pest in the cassava farm, and we also have the termites. Yes. First, let's look into this pest I've mentioned first. Cassava mealybug is a small insect found under the cassava leaves. It attacks the cassava leaves from this side you are looking at over here. This is how the cassava mealybug affects the cassava leaves. And how do you identify a cassava mealybug? It causes coil or a stunted growth to the cassava leaves. Also, cassava green mites. This is the work of a cassava green mite. Cassava green mite causes yellowing or defoliation. It leaves a spot where the pest feeds on. It leaves a spot. These are the work of a cassava green mite right here that you're looking at. So we'll be identifying various pests and how to manage those pests today in a sustainable way. Now we are moving on to white flies. White flies is a pest in the cassava farm which causes a cassava mosaic disease. Yes, cassava mosaic disease, that is the work of a white flies. The white fly is a pest, but it also spread diseases in the cassava farming. What you are looking out here is a disease in the cassava farm. Yes, as you can see, we have yellowish, we have deformed cassava leaves. These are the mosaic patterned leaves. So this is the work of the white flies, and white flies spread cassava mosaic diseases. Yes, we also have the termites. Like I said before, the termite pest attacks the cassava from the stem and the roots. That's how the cassava termite pest operates. It attacks the stems and the roots of the cassava. So now let's talk about the major cassava diseases and how to identify them, and we'll also be talking about how to control them in a sustainable way. Well, we have cassava on number one. We have cassava mosaic disease, which I've showed you something about it earlier. Cassava mosaic disease is spread by white flies. And white flies, how do you identify a cassava mosaic disease? You identify them with, it's either the leaves are deformed or it leaves a mosaic pattern on the leaf, just like you've seen in the video showing on the screen right here. So we also have the number two. We are talking about the diseases now that affect cassava farm generally. So on number two, we have cassava brown streak. This leaves a brown line in between the cassava leaves. This, we don't have cassava brown disease here. I'm just trying to make an example. Cassava brown streak disease, it is also known as CSCD or something like that. Cassava brown streak disease, it leaves a brown line inside the roots of the cassava, you understand. So on the number three, we have cassava rot root. Cassava rot root is also a disease in the cassava farm. Cassava rot root is caused by a poor drainage system, or it is either caused by a fungal infection. For this land, this place is plowed, so there is a space that the waters are passing, so there is a good drainage system. We don't have a rot root at this current farm that you're looking over here. So we've mentioned three diseases in the cassava farming, where we talked about cassava mosaic disease, we talk about cassava brown streak disease, and we also talk about the rot root. So now we'll be talking about a sustainable way you can control pests and disease in the cassava farming. Number one, when you are starting a cassava farm, start with the LD disease-free cuttings. And secondly, you can start by using the likes of the TME 419, or we also have the TMS 30572, and we also have the NR varieties like the NR 8082, and more of those varieties, they are resistant to diseases. Number two, you can do intercropping, or you do a crop rotation. Crop rotation, for example, when you plant cassava on this particular land this year, next year you can rotate it. You can plant the likes of legumes, you can plant yam, you can plant maize. Next year if you want to plant, you do mixed cropping, you do intercropping, you change the crops. That way you are confusing the pests, and it also makes the soils to be healthy. Let's divide this particular land into 4 parts. Here you can plant, you plant cassava on this particular land this year. Next year you can plant yam here, and the other year you can plant cassava to this side. You are doing a crop rotation. You are confusing the pest. So the cassavas or whatsoever you plant on that land, it will be fertile, it will yield very well. So we are also moving on to the manual control. Manual control is when you handpick the infected leaves or the infected plants, when you control them early in order to avoid spread of the disease early. For instance, now this particular leaves you are looking here, it's been bitten or it's been infected by the cassava green mite. So it is very essential you come to the farm often. You have to come to the farm often and you handpick the infected plants. So this way you are also controlling disease or pest in the cassava farming. So we will be moving on to the organic spray. Yes, we have something they call the NEEM, the neem leaf, or a pepper spray, which you can spray as an insecticide instead of the chemicals. You don't have to use chemicals on the farm all the time. No, it affects the soil. It makes the soils to be infertile. And also there's something my dad used to do in his time. There's this wood ash he will spray in the farm whenever he noticed the likes of termites. He will spray wood ash to the farm like this. There was a day I asked him what the wood ash was for, and he told me that it adds potassium or calcium to the soil, which means it fertilizes the soil by itself. It doesn't have to be chemical all the time. There are ways we control these things. So we also have clean planting materials. It's very important you get your stem for a very certified source or your own LD farm. When you have a LD farm and you know that the stems, your stems are clean or they are disease free, you can reuse those stems when you are planting cassava another time, or you get them from a very certified source. Then never reuse cuttings from our infected plants. If this particular cassava planted here is affected by is either pest or disease, it's very important you either you burn it out or you take it out of the farm. Do not reuse this if it is affected or if it is infected. Then it's not. We'll be talking about another step. This is very important in the cassava farming. It is a proper feed hygiene. You have to weed regularly. You control the weeds regularly. This can help control the pest or disease in the farm. Remove plants that debris after harvest. That means you remove plants, you remove the plants that remains after you've harvested your cassava. You remove the remainings of the cassava that are affected. That is very essential. Then the crop spacing. Crop spacing is also very important in the cassava farm. The space you give to your crop matters a lot. This helps in reducing the spread of the cassava. It helps reduce the spread of disease. Yes, if this plant is affected here, before it spreads to this particular plant, the spacing here won't allow it that easily because there is a good spacing. There is a good spacing. So I hope you've learned something. I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things in this video, and this matters because you are not just saving your crops alone. It's about you protecting your soil. You are protecting your health and your profits for the long run. It also saves you money on chemical inputs over time. So this particular video we've talked about so far, we've talked about the pests and diseases and a sustainable way you can control disease in this farm. We've talked about the pests, where we talk about cassava mealybug, we talk about the cassava spider mites, we talked about the white flies, and we also talk about termites. Those are the pests, the common pests in the cassava farm. We also have the diseases like the cassava mosaic disease, we have the cassava brown streak disease, and we also have the rot roots. And I said there are several ways you can control this disease or pest in the cassava farm by doing crop rotation. by manually picking out the infected plants. There are ways you can, there are leaves, like I said before, the neem leaf, or the we also have the garlic, yes, the garlic spray that you can use as an insecticide on the farm that reduces cassava disease or pest in the farm. And I hope you have learned something. Either you learn one or two from this video. Please kindly comment what you've learned, or if you have any disease in your cassava farm and you are looking for a solution, you can drop that in the comment section. Kindly subscribe, share this video, and please, if you think I tried enough, give me a thumb up. Keep sharing this video. You can turn on the notification bell to be notified in case I drop another video next time. And bye for now.